Join us and discover beautiful beaches, rugged landscapes, pretty towns, desolate mountain ranges that sweep down to stunning lakes, unique architecture, history and folklore, no shamrocks, no shillelaghs, and definitely no shenanigans, just naked Ireland. Here we are in the lovely town of Sligo on the west coast of Ireland. It's a reasonable sized town with a population of just over 20,000, but to give you some idea of how that measures up in Irish terms, it's the 24th largest urban centre in the country, but the largest in the county. This river in front of us is called the Garavogue River. That is, these days. In fact, it was called the River Sligo for centuries before. And so it was the river that gave its name to the town, which when anglicised became Sligo. In fact, it means abounding in shells and relates to the abundance of shellfish found in the estuary. Okay, on into the town, and we're just passing a pub now called the Belfry, presumably so called as around the corner here we have the famous Sligo Abbey, which we visited in a previous video. Anyway, we're going to just walk up to its gates before turning and coming back down into the town. Very nicely painted shops here. And now we're just coming up to the junction of Abbey Street. We'll go left here and up to the ruins of the Abbey. Foley's over there looks like a nice wee pub. So as I said, I have a whole Naked Ireland video devoted to the Abbey, so we won't be going in on this occasion. If you're interested in it, and you should be, as it's a fantastic Norman building dating from 1252, you can check that out by seeking out Naked Ireland's Sligo Abbey video. And there's the Abbey up ahead. It's worth seeing for its cloisters alone, they're really magnificent, but there's also a very impressive stone altar. Actually there's lots to see, so check out the film. Okay, I've doubled back a bit and we're in Teeling Street, and this impressive building is Sligo Courthouse, built in 1878 and designed by James Rawson Carroll in the French Gothic style. However, as we turn to go back down Teeling Street, you can see that there are a lot of buildings around here that are in need of serious renovation. That aside, Sligo has much to commend it. It's perhaps not as beautiful as Galway or Westport here in the west, but it has a lot to offer and some lovely areas, as we'll see. It also plays host to several festivals each year, among them, for music lovers, the Sligo Jazz Project in July, and the Sligo Baroque Festival, or should I say Baroque for the Americans watching. That one takes place last week in September. Again, some lovely little shops and cafes along here. We're back on Abbey Street again, by the way. So again, Sligo is popular during the tourist season. I'm visiting in October, so we're out of season and it's consequently a lot quieter. But if you come here in July and August, expect it to be hiving with people. There'll be a great vibe here in the town, and if the weather's good, you'll have the beaches of Strand Hill, now a surfing resort, and Ross's Point not far away. Now we're just arriving at the junction of Market Street, a nice broad junction marked with a very striking memorial. This statue commemorates the 1798 Rising in Ireland, a rising led by Wolfe Tone and the United Irishmen. We'll go over and have a closer look, although it doesn't tell us much. Onwards up Abbey Street, and you can see an Afro-Caribbean restaurant just in front of us. Again, evidence of the diversity now of Ireland's rural towns, and an indication of how food culture is very much on the rise. A nice little record shop here on the left too. Now, walking down this quaint little street, it's perhaps difficult to imagine some of the history connected to this town. For example, during the medieval period, the town was burned, sacked or besieged around 49 times. More war and strife followed in the 17th and 18th centuries. So it all makes you wonder how there's anything still left here at all. These are thankfully quieter times on the west coast of Ireland. As always in Irish towns, you can always find some lovely pubs, as we pass Gracie's Bar here, conspicuous in yellow on the left. And now we're just approaching the junction of O'Connell Street here, so we're going to go right along O'Connell Street. Aside from the wars and conflict already mentioned, Sligo had a cholera outbreak in 1832, wiping out a large proportion of the population, and then during the Great Famine between 1847 and 1851, the port of Sligo was used as an exit point for 30,000 Irish people who were emigrating. There's no doubt that this town has had more than its fair share of misery. Those days are behind it now though. As we pass these beautiful shop fronts, we can see the real beauty of the place. What a lovely wee bar. No time for a pint at the moment, unfortunately. Still more to see. Sligo's a town with many buildings of architectural merit. As I say, we've still more to see, including the brilliant W.B. Yeats statue. But take the trouble now to offer the film a wee like, a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. It all helps the channel grow and ultimately enables more interesting content in the future. Don't be afraid to share the video with family and friends too. Perhaps you know someone outside Ireland who's from Sligo or who's going there for their holidays. Now look at that shop front, isn't that spectacular? I think it's nice what they've done here to limit the traffic and make it more suitable for pedestrians and cyclists. And there's another nice shop front. Okay, so that attractive building in front of us now is Sligo Post Office. And this is the junction of Wine Street. Why Wine Street? That's a good question. If you know the answer to that, please let me know in the comments. Did they really import wine here, do you think? I mean, the Irish drink plenty of wine nowadays, but historically we're not known for imbibing such a refined beverage. Right, we're heading now for the bridge which will take us across the Garavogue River again. And we have the Sligo Art Gallery on our right hand side. Now this strange glass building on our left is called the Glass House Hotel. I seem to remember back in the day it was the site of the old Silver Swan Hotel. The Silver Swan was the jewel in the crown of Sligo, a great place to hear music and one of the venues of the Irish show band scene. Some of you will remember it, I'm sure. Lovely location for a hotel, I always used to think. Okay, you can just see straight ahead of us now the W.B. Yeats statue. W.B. Yeats is one of Ireland's great writers. I say one of them because we've a great many, including 3 Nobel laureates for literature. Yeats described Sligo as the domain and landscape of his poetic imagination. A good deal of his poetry makes reference to the place, and he made Sligo his final resting place. You can visit his grave in beautiful Drumcliff Church not far from here, Or if that's not possible for you, visit through the magic of Naked Ireland, as I have a film on Drumcliff and Yeats's grave. This is a very attractive tribute to Yeats, I think. That's it for this film, but remember, if you subscribe now, you'll have the luck of the Irish for at least 7 years, I imagine. So go on, subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next Naked Ireland video.